Is this thing on? All right, guys. Today, this is the lesson for 3/31/2020, March 31st. It's a Tuesday in week 3 since I saw you last. So tonight's homework is section 10.6. I will be honest with you. I'll give you an overview of this presentation. This is worthless, section 10.6. Really all 10.6 is a review of 10.5 because 10.5 is so important. The book did it for 2 nights. So if you want to just skip this video, don't skip it yet. You should feel free. I will say to you though, the notes aren't very much. I go over number 29 and 31 from last night's homework on the next 2 pages. So if you struggled with some of the problems last night, I did the last 2 problems for you, or I will do them for you. Tonight's homework is pages 488 and 49, so that's section 10.6. So the written problems is numbers 3 through 18, multiples of 3. So I gave you 6 problems there. It's not particularly hard. You should knock them out of the park, okay? But then this is a little weird. I did give you the mixed review numbers 1 through 12. And that's a lot of stuff on graphing. The reason I'm asking you to do that is because, we will be graphing tomorrow. So we're going to do inequalities involving lines. It's mildly interesting. Okay, so today I put the 3 stars. If you didn't do anything, if you don't do anything that's here in purple, you're going to be fine. Okay, so technically, right, you can factor an absolute value using GCF. So in other words, there is a property that says that I'm allowed to basically reverse distribute, or GCF. So here if I have AB plus AC inside, right? So whenever you have something that's inside of a thing, it is called an argument. So inside of an absolute value, inside of a square root or a cube root or any other kind of root, the thing that's inside of something is called the argument. So AB plus AC, they both have this A in common, so I can, right, factor that out, okay? So this we know. I mean, I don't know why they give us a lesson on it, but they're telling us I can take this extra step in pulling this out. So I have A times B plus C, all in its own absolute value. So I just don't think it's worth a lesson. It's a little bit redundant. I mean, if I wanted to, I could have given you like the odds from 10.5 and then the evens tonight. So I'm going to show this the way they did this in the book, or the way they would want you to do this in the book. And they would hope that you can see that both of these, right, are divisible by 4. So what I would do is I could make that the absolute value of 4, 2n minus 1, is less than 12, which I could make 4 times 2n minus 1 is less than 12. So you see, I can change that, I can manipulate it, but we don't need to. Like if we didn't do this, we'd still get the right answer. This is just how the book is saying. I don't know why they want to show it to us, but at least you know it exists. So 2n minus 1 is strictly less than 3. Absolute value, right? So now how do I solve this? Okay, so as is, 2n minus 1 is strictly less than 3. Okay, and the second time, right, we are going to do the double backflip. So 2n minus 1 is strictly greater than negative 3. All right, add 1. 2n is less than 4. Add 1. 2n is greater than negative 2. Divide by 2. N is less than 2. Divide by 2. Right? N is greater than negative 1. So you kind of have to graph to figure out what's going on here. okay? So we'll say this is 0, 1, 2, and there's -1. So n is greater than -1, but less than 2. We're dealing with a sandwich, okay? Let's choose a third color here. Let's go with red. So the answer to this example is, right, -1 is strictly less than n is strictly less than 2. That's the answer. If you didn't do any of this stuff and just went right from here, you would have still gotten that same answer. So I just think this is what they're trying to show you. If you don't like it, I would really not worry about it. Okay? So that's the end of the new stuff. Now I'm going to go over 2 problems from last night's homework. Okay? And again, I wanted to say, you know, we have a test on Friday. We will have a final exam, and I think because of this 6 weeks off, I don't feel comfortable giving any exemptions, okay? So you're going to be taking a final exam. So you have to know this, okay? You have to know this, and I will tell you that last Thursday, only 20 guys watched the video for 10-4. So again, you're really sweet, and I guess you get even more time off, because God forbid that you have something to do, but you're kind of hurting yourself. So please, if you know of somebody who's being a DOG, give them a call. You don't have to watch these videos. I do put the Khan Academy, which is a little bit shorter. You can even try the homework, watch the Khan Academy, and go do it that way. However you want to learn, I don't care, but you have to learn all this stuff. Right? Let's move on. So this is number 29 from last night's homework. I will be honest with you, you can kind of see the green there. I did this and then I got it wrong because I wrote it down wrong and then I messed everything up. So I went back and I redid this whole